First, if you could just help us clarify what VRLS really means. Basically, its merits, the merits, and how it's even applied in organizations, listed entities.
Just to let you know, VRLS stands for Variable Rate Loan Stock. So the units that are in the company is like one equity share and 99 debenture units, which is like a loan unit. And so every year the return to the shareholders is different. So that's why it's variable. Now, in terms of company structures, and if you actually have a look, not that it's particularly relevant to the commencement of the VRLS, but take this tax amendment law. You cannot go and have a loan agreement which sort of says you can charge between this company and the shareholders. You can charge whatever interest rate you like. There's got to be a reason for having that. You can't say this year we'll charge 5%, next year we'll charge 10%, and so on. It's got to be a fixed arrangement, because that's open for people to manipulate and so on.
Now that we have a little bit of an overview of what the VRLS stands for, could you just help take us through more like how it has evolved in terms of trends, and more or less which other similar corporate structures exist in the African region?
The amendments that were done did not really single out listed VRLS structures. The amendment spoke about VRLS structures, and there's quite a number of them that are there that are not listed, and they are recognized by the Act. Rail Park, for instance, the ownership of that is in a VRLS structure. Airport Junction is one such, and all these changes that were being muted were going to affect these private ones as well.
The purpose really why I'm here, I hope you can see, is so that I share information and developments so that within the real estate sector, particularly to you as practitioners and real estate firms, so that you are in a better position to mitigate the money laundering risk that is experienced within the real estate sector. They compromise the integrity of the financial system of any country, and they are a threat globally on security and safety in a country. So this is a process that is used by criminals to clean the money, and also whether the measures that are put in place by the countries are effective, such that they'll bring about the changes required. Now, they do this through conducting what we call as mutual evaluation reviews. FATF has set about 40 recommendations, okay? And recommendation number 1, which is quite key, relates to countries, the expectation that countries should identify, assess and understand the money laundering and terrorist financing risk. Once you have done that, that's when then you can, as a country, come up with a risk-based approach or regime to try to address that, to ensure that the measures to prevent money laundering and terrorist financing risks are actually addressing the risks identified, because each country is different.
You have to own your land. Gone are the days where a minority or a majority can negotiate, and I say it in front of Portia's face, that a majority is negotiating 25 years later for participation in an economy. That's just not sustainable. If you want to look at a better model, look at Dubai. Dubai, they are outnumbered 9-1 foreigners to locals, but the Emiratis own the ground. On the ground, they attract capital. You can build buildings there, you can operate Microsoft, Google, whoever you want to, but you know what? That property, that business needs to physically touch the ground, and that's where they control it. So while you have the resources, while you have these open spaces, be mindful that you need to own the ground which is your destiny. But if you come into the country with a bag of pula, you're going to get a hell of a keen price on an asset that you can buy. You take a view. Where are the opportunities? In the retail sector. I drive around here and I see the fantastic, the big shopper being done by Sefalane there in G North. To create retail assets are special in that you can put a turnover clause so inflation works in your favor. As fast as it goes, your income is tied to that, there are opportunities on that basis.
We cannot talk about the property sector without talking about the macroeconomic fundamentals of Botswana, right? The general macroeconomic indicators, the population, the economic, the business indicators, they're very important when it comes to real estate investment and performance. If we look at our general indicator, which focuses on the area, our business language, our major cities and towns, we have been consistent and maintained certain fundamentals to that.
BP all along has been supplying capacity to the government of Botswana as well as the industry. We are now revamping our courses so that they are in line with the accreditation requirements. Back in 2015, we held a meeting with the executive of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors in Johannesburg when they had their AGM meeting.
Our rationale for establishing the real estate profession or training was because there was a gap. I think since morning, you observe that most of you studied real estate or got your qualifications abroad. So by that time when Bicycle started, there was no institution offering a real estate qualification in the country, and that was the rationale for doing that. But now here we are, even up to now it's just us and University of Botswana. But as he has alluded to that point, up to now there is no postgraduate education in the country in terms of real estate.
As we are speaking here today, the Real Estate Advisory Council has already registered about 250 real estate professionals, comprising estate agents, property managers, property valuers, and property auctioneers.
Every Motswana has got the right to land. Whether they qualify for it, whether they've got the means to develop it, is neither here or there. But the Act is saying they have got to be given the land. Now, if I'm given a piece of land and I don't have the means to develop it, what happens next? We are getting conveyors coming in, we are getting the developers coming in and saying, I'm going to assist you to develop your property.
So I'm actually, in quality management system, of which I'm trained in, we talk about zero defect. We talk about, the background of health and safety, it's housekeeping, which everything must stay in its place, and a place must have its substance way to stay.
Yes, we are saying most of the transactions, or maybe some of the transactions that are happening, they are actually happening because of the assistance of the attorneys, who are actually making it possible for certain transfers to be effected.
I'm just shortly going to introduce to you our brand, basically as Stanbic Bank, what we do and what we are about, and what we stand for. So we've been operating in Botswana now for 27 years, and we have 11 branches across the whole country, 6 being in Gaborone. We have branch representation in Palape, in Maung, and in Francistown. Over and above that, we also have representation across Africa. We are the largest bank in Africa by assets. We have representation in 20 countries. And we believe that a good number of those assets are invested in infrastructure development, in real estate, because we have different sections of the bank First, we have our corporate and investment banking, who have their units named investment banking, largely focused on infrastructure development, roads, malls. So we play a part in that role. We play a part in the property sector as well. We also do personal banking financing. We also finance small and medium enterprises who are passionate about the development of the people where we operate, whether in Botswana or across all areas where we operate in Africa.
I'm just here to highlight to you how digitalization can actually improve or drive the businesses in different verticals, that is real estate, retail, educational institutions, and so forth and so on. Presence analytics is actually the ability to detect devices wirelessly, even if they are not connected. That is, it gives you the insight of knowing how many people are actually roaming around, or at least in the location of your business, where your business is located.
More that I would like to thank is PPC Botswana, our main sponsor, FNB. We thank you for the sponsorship. Stanbic Bank, we thank you for the sponsorship. Apex Properties, Vantage Properties. I guess Mr. Tevesh is smiling. I would like to really encourage Vantage Properties to enter into partnership with RIP in terms of their software and systems. I think more properties, Willie Katurima and Associates, the veterans, they're exiting the market. The youngsters must take over. We thank the BHC for your presence with 10 projects. Clear water, you can see that water. I've actually copied the brand. We'll talk about partnership in future. The RIP Council, this is one council that I've enjoyed. And would like to say to the membership in general, while I'm still here, I said it on the WhatsApp platform that prepare for a successor or succession plan. I'm the higher apparent to the throne at RIP, but I can choose not to stand there because I'm a chemist, I'm a manufacturing specialist, not really in this thing of brick and mortar.